I'm live. Hello, Instagram. My name is Sam the Mini Yeti, and welcome to another episode of Sam the Mini Yeti Live. And I do have something to tell you guys pretty soon. Later tonight, I'm going to be checking out a stage musical over in our hometown, and that is Willy Wonka, based on the film Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, which in turn is based on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl. And let me tell you, I'm pretty excited about it. Willy Wonka has been kind of a thing that everyone's loving ever since 1971, and the book is such a classic. If you're a fan of the Tim Burton version from 2005, just called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, that's a good movie too. And also, I'm actually, and also, there's definitely quite a few actors that I actually knew from other productions by this group, like the SpongeBob musical and Hairspray. And I'm actually excited to see how they actually do Willy Wonka. If this does well, there's always a good chance I might purchase their DVD of the show, because they are a hard-working group of kids. They are really funny. They are fun to watch. Their acting is really spectacular, and I'm always hoping that their seasons always do well. They're just a really good bunch of people. So, a funny thing. So, I gotta mention something. I wanted to give a shout out to my buddy Rufus and his group, The Poppets. They actually did their series premiere of their new show, Poppet World. And I gotta give credit to Rufus and his friends. They make some really good content. Check out their YouTube channel, Poppet Associates. And I'm actually very excited to see how Poppet World is gonna go in the near future. And Rufus has kind of been using his old look for the first season, and I just hope later he'll actually get to use his new look. Hopefully that'll happen. Here's hoping, man. Now, I wanted to ask you guys something. How have you been doing? Let's see, we do have Hood Z Puppet Gang here in the chat, and some weird name I can't even say. And of course, John the Lizard is here. Hello, John. He's a good buddy of mine. And he actually put his usual Canadian lizard. He put his usual Canadian lizard chat into the chat, of course. Oh, Hoodsy Puppet Gangs. He says, I've been good. Good to hear, actually. And, what do you know? We already got someone coming in the chat. Sweet. Hang on. Okay. And? You're on the air.
Hello there, Sam.
Oh, hey there. Well, you're kind of new to this. What's your name?
I'm the Pets.com sock puppet.
The Pets.com sock puppet.
Yeah, it says on my microphone.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Very.
How's your Friday been?
It's been great, actually. I actually just said earlier I'm going to be checking out a show later on, Willy Wonka.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
I'm actually really excited. This group that's doing it, they are actually a group of kids that have been performing a bunch of Broadway shows here in town. They've done the SpongeBob musical. They have done Hairspray. They have done The Lion King. They've done Frozen, Moana.
Yeah, that's nice to hear.
They are a really talented group of kids. Let me tell you that.
I can tell of all doing those live shows.
And I got to be honest here. I think the SpongeBob musical might be a dream role I would love dream show I would love to be in.
Yeah, we all have those dreams.
If you're a theater kid, there's always this one role that you would absolutely die for when you audition for it.
Yeah, and that usually is. What would that usually be?
It actually kind of depends on what show it is. Like, if you actually want to audition for Little Shop of Horrors, there's always that one. There's always most people that want to audition to be the voice of Audrey 2, the plant.
Yeah, the plant is what usually people would like to audition for.
Oh yeah, and you also have the what was it? Oh, and you also have Fiddler on the Roof. They're probably most people that want to audition for Tevye.
Yeah, that's usually a good role to try out for.
And of course, if you've seen, I said earlier, the SpongeBob musical. That's actually might be one of the few shows where every role might be a dream role. SpongeBob, Patrick, Sandy, Squidward, Mr. Krabs, everybody.
Exactly.
If I actually got to be in the show, I would love to be Squidward, Plankton, or maybe SpongeBob himself.
Yeah, any of those characters are good to try out for.
I think SpongeBob might be physically demanding because he actually does have that there's a one point in the show where he does the splits, and there's that one scene close to the climax where he's actually climbing on these ladders and he's singing all the while he's doing that.
Oh, yeah, that's a good part.
And then you also have Squidward, which his costume design might be one of the best I've ever seen, where, I'm not kidding, you actually have Squidward, the costume design actually has 4 legs. They gave him an extra pair of legs.
That's nice to hear.
And then, smack dab in the middle of Act 2, he actually has this huge tap dance number, which I hear when it actually played on Broadway, that number gets like a standing ovation.
Yeah.
Like a 4-legged tap dance number. That's how insane it was.
Yeah, that was a pretty neat one I've seen.
And then there's Plankton. He actually, the way he's portrayed, his costume almost looks like something like of a James Bond villain, and he also has an eye patch, which makes sense because Plankton has one eye.
Yeah.
He has these hair braids in the back of him, which I think is supposed to be his antenna.
Yeah, I can think that too.
And then on occasion, the actor who plays Plankton might show up with a Plankton plushie in his hand.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
That alone is actually kind of funny and kind of works because Plankton is supposed to be tiny. He's supposed to be small.
Yeah.
I actually also really like the costume designs for SpongeBob and Patrick. SpongeBob is honestly pretty basic. He wears like a yellow shirt. He has brown pants with suspenders. SpongeBob's character design alone is iconic. You don't really need much. And then there you go. Just that costume design alone is going to tell you that's SpongeBob.
Yep.
Patrick also kind of works too. In the Broadway production, he wears like a pink Hawaiian shirt, and then you have green shorts with the purple flowers. You gotta have that, of course.
Yep.
And the Broadway version also has Patrick with this very distinct hairstyle that actually points up, which makes sense because Patrick is a starfish, so he's supposed to look pointy.
Yeah.
Here's the interesting thing. Some productions I've seen don't actually have Patrick with the distinct hairstyle. If they can't do that, they usually give Patrick like a beanie, like a pink beanie to wear. And I guess that works. I don't know.
I mean, he is pink in the show, so it kind of does fit.
And let me just say it. The Hawaiian shirt is actually a nice touch because in the show, Patrick doesn't wear anything but his shorts. You can't just have a shirtless guy on stage all the time. You can't have that.
No, you can't. That'd be weird.
But so they just give him like a pink Hawaiian shirt to wear, and then there you go. That works.
Yep. But for
Andy,
Mr. Krabs, it's good.
oh yeah, Mr. Krabs' costume design actually works too. He actually still has his normal outfit, but then you also have these. You also have him wear like these huge boxing gloves that are obviously supposed to be his claws. That alone is brilliant. That works perfectly.
Yep. It sure does.
I actually and I also love the touch that his hair and mustache and beard are actually dyed red. That's pretty darn cool.
Yeah, that's a good touch on him.
My I think Sandy's costume design is a little bit minimalistic, and I actually I think it could have used some work. She still has her jumpsuit, but she also has this afro hairstyle that I think is supposed to represent her helmet.
Yeah.
I guess,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm just guessing here. That could possibly be her diving helmet, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I think the only costume design I could have added was her tail. Come on, she's a squirrel. You just could have given her a tail and that's it.
It could have been any tail, actually.
Yeah. I and there was this one costume design that's very minimalistic, but it actually works. I actually recognized the character right away. He had this gray white hair, and then he also has these old timey glasses, a sweater, and gray jeans. And I knew exactly that's supposed to be Old Man Jenkins.
Yeah, I was
How
remembering
did I
that.
recognize him? That design was actually kind of funny too. I guess in the show, Old Man Jenkins is supposed to be kind of like this boomer type character. When in the show, when they find out that Mount Humongous, which is supposed to be a volcano right next to Bikini Bottom, when that is set to explode erupt, no joke, Old Man Sandy actually starts explaining how the eruption is going to happen and when, and then Old Man Jenkins just decides to blame Sandy because she's a squirrel, a land mammal. That alone is kind of scary, blaming Sandy for this predicament, but also kind of funny.
Yeah, it pretty much is funny.
You even have this moment where Perch Perkins is actually talking about what's been happening in Bikini Bottom since the eruption is about to start, and then all of a sudden you actually have Old Man Jenkins with this leading an angry mob running across the stage, and it goes like, "Blame the squirrel! Blame the squirrel! Blame the squirrel!"
Yeah, it was a pretty funny moment.
In the professional shows that have been on Broadway and on tour, what was funny is that Old Man Jenkins and this other guy actually run across the stage, and they have these cardboard cutouts that are supposed to be the angry mob. That's funny. That's one of my favorite things about it.
Yeah, that was a good part in it.
And another favorite part with Old Man Jenkins is there's a scene where lava rocks actually fall out of Mount Humongous, but they're not exactly boulders. Like they're like supposed to be these huge beach balls. And then one of them flattens Old Man Jenkins, and they use a cardboard cutout that's supposed to make him look like he's flat.
Oh.
It is something straight out of Tom and Jerry, and I love it. That is one of the funniest things that they did.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
And but yeah, I think the SpongeBob musical is one of the best shows I've ever seen. Not just as an adaptation, a stage adaptation of SpongeBob, but as a musical in general. It is so good. The songs were catchy, the costume designs were phenomenal, the sets were really good too. It is so good.
Yeah, the sets were amazing.
Oh yeah. I actually got to mention, there are a couple of companies that actually have these virtual sets for rent. basically, basically, virtual sets are supposed to be backgrounds that you're supposed to project on into project onto the stage, like behind the performers, and that actually works to actually set the scene. Honestly, I do like virtual sets because they actually make for some good quick scene changes.
Yeah.
And thankfully, there's this one I found. I think it was a Rick something. I can't remember the full name, but they actually have some scenic projections that have some optional animations as well. They do some for the SpongeBob musical, and they actually have the option whether you want to have SpongeBob's pineapple in the scene or not.
Yeah.
And that actually works. I kind of prefer that the set piece for SpongeBob's house actually be something physical anyway.
Yeah, I can say that was good.
So I think my favorite song in the SpongeBob musical has to be "Just a Simple Sponge" by Panic at the Disco. Not only is the song good, but it's got some great visuals by having most of the lights dimmed, and you actually have these blacklit sponges as SpongeBob sings.
Oh, yeah.
And they actually make all these different shapes. It actually works really effectively.
Yeah, it kind of does.
I actually might need to sing my. I think I might need to sing my favorite verse from that song, but here we go.
Right.
So what if I'm a sponge? It's what I want to be. There isn't anyone that stretches like me. Employee of the month 2 years in a row. Undisputed master of my own dojo. And everyone here knows that they can depend on this expert jellyfisher who's a trusted friend. I can eat a lot of ice cream. I can even
That sounds pretty
play
nice.
my nose like. That is design. I always love that choice that when they have SpongeBob say, "I can play my nose like," and then all of a sudden it just goes. That is awesome. I love that.
That's one of the funnier parts.
And then another favorite song of mine probably has to be "Bikini Bottom Day" by Jonathan Colton. That's the opening song, and that actually does give you a good idea of what the show is going to be like. It's like the moment you see SpongeBob wake up, you see he's ready for another new day in Bikini Bottom. He's brushing his teeth. He's feeding Gary. It is just a sight to see anyway.
Yeah.
And then every other character gets introduced as well. Patrick, Squidward, Mr. Krabs, Plankton. Everybody does.
Yep.
And the one thing I didn't expect for the SpongeBob musical was that it features a song by David Bowie called "No Troll."
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Where they actually have Perch Perkins sing for most of it. And one of my favorite things about it is that they actually changed the lyrics to actually what was it, to actually fit the situation.
Oh, yeah, I get you.
One of my favorite songs from Act 2 probably has to be "I Guess I Miss You" by John Legend.
Mm.
Obviously, my favorite song from obviously David's favorite song from this show. You know, my friend David, his favorite song is "Super Sea Star Savior," which I can't remember who did it, but it was a song that was all about Patrick. It was sung by this group of sardines, and they somehow see wisdom in Patrick's simple logic.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
I am not kidding. They actually just hear Patrick say something like a simple Patrick thing, and the sardines just react like, oh, so deep. Like how can you actually follow Patrick? He is like the biggest idiot on the face of the earth.
Yeah, Patrick is the funny one.
But and even Patrick actually says some lines from the show. Honestly, they actually are still as funny as they are. Easily my favorite has got to be when Patrick, is mayonnaise an instrument? Like he actually says that.
That's always a funny moment.
And I also like how Squidward is portrayed. You know how Squidward is kind of like an artist that has never been that hasn't been given a chance.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what he is here. Squidward is kind of portrayed as like this overlooked celebrity. And I actually find it cool that we do have his four-legged tap dance number, one of the best things in the show.
Yeah, it was a good part in the show.
Okay, now I gotta mention this. I think my favorite musical that I've actually been to is probably either The Lion King, which I've actually seen twice. I've seen it in Dallas, and then I've also seen it in Memphis, Tennessee.
Ow.
And then and another show I really like happens to be Cats the Musical by Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Oh. Yeah, that was an alright one.
I actually just find it. I actually do find Cats to be kind of a wonderful show. It's got some really good songs. They're all based on poems from T.S. Eliot's Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I dare even say, I have an unpopular opinion here. I like the Cats movie ironically.
Mm.
You know, like the same way people would like The Room or Birdemic.
Yeah, that's true.
So, wait, what does this comment say here? Terrio Spag says, "Hi, Sam." Hello.
Laggy.
I I think maybe another. I actually read it himself. I hope he could actually live up to Gene Wilder's legacy. Gene Wilder actually took on the role of Willy Wonka on the condition that when we first meet him, that he would do a somersault, like he would fake a limp, and then do a roll on the ground. So by the time that happens, we don't exactly know if Wonka is telling the truth or not.
Exactly.
That's what makes Wonka such an interesting character. He could be charming. He can be weird. You honestly don't know what's going on in his head.
Yeah.
Like he's definitely this weird kind of character, and you might not know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
I think my favorite. I think for this version of Wonka as well, we're gonna get like a. We also might get some new songs along with some of the songs from the movie. You know, like I Got a Golden Ticket, I Want It Now, Pure Imagination. You know those stuff.
Yeah, those were really good songs.
I'm actually I think my favorite song, of course, is Pure Imagination. I just love the way that sounds. It's such a warm sounding kind of song.
Yeah, I get you.
Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Being there, you'll be free. If we wish to be. Now, okay, now here's a hard question. Actually, not really a question, but here's a statement. I'm actually wondering what they're gonna do for the tunnel scene.
Oh yeah. I wonder what they're gonna do too.
There's no knowing where we're going. Where we're no. There's no knowing which way we're rowing. Is it raining? Is it snowing? Is a hurricane a blowing? I mean, wow. That is one of the freakiest things to come out of the movie. The freakiest. They're certainly not showing any signs that they are slowing.
Man, it looks like a demon on there for a second.
Did I?
Yeah.
And I didn't think I would actually be a little bit scary. You know what? Hang on, give me a sec. What was I doing there? Woo! Oh man.
That's good.
I kind of scared myself there. Woo!
Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you what. I am a little bit sad, but you know what? It's been great talking with you. Dog Puppet, apparently. What was it again?
Yeah, just that.
Oh, yeah, that. But, you know, it's been great talking with you, but I think I'm about ready to sign off, all right?
All right, see ya.
All right, see you later.
Yep.
Oh, and until next time, see you later, folks.